guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today I am alone. I do not have Mr. Spice King, guys. I'm alone today. There is no Ayiko, guys. So today, guys, I am here tuning in alone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is BABALWA NDLWANA. It is so weird not saying. And today we've got the one, the only, because I'm so used to saying it. I've actually never done a video alone, but I thought I should do one alone today. It is a story time. Today I am going to be sharing with you guys my birth experience. I'll share like the first one, obviously, because through that one, like, I didn't know anything. I was like new to everything, and I honestly thought like I was ready, guys. I was ready to have the labor pains. I was ready to go through the works of a birth. Like, I was ready, but it didn't happen that way, and it was completely different to what I expected. So guys, fine, I found out that I was pregnant with Uko like less than a month. Like before, yeah, I think I was a few weeks pregnant. I remember I was in PE celebrating my birthday with Uzola, and we came back to Cape Town. Like, even when I was in PE, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so weird. I don't know what is going on with my body, but something is just not right. Like, I felt so sick. Like, on the day of my birthday, I remember I flew down to PE, from Cape Town to PE, and Uzola was joining me in PE for that weekend because we were celebrating my birthday in PE, and I was just not myself. I start eating and I'm just like, ugh, like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm not feeling like myself, and I'm such a foodie. So I was just like, no, like, maybe it's the change of environment or what. But I didn't think of anything, obviously, because like Mr. and I had only just started, you know, getting it down. So I was just like, it definitely cannot be that. Anyway, yeah, the weekend, guys, time goes by, whatever. We enjoy ourselves and our time in PE. Fast forward, come back to Cape Town, life continues, everything is fine. So randomly, I had gone for like an interview at this place in Claremont. And then randomly, I'm just like, you know what? Let me actually go to the store and buy a pregnancy test. Girl, fine. I tell Uzola, I'm like, dude, I'm really not feeling like myself. Then another highlight was that, like, my period is late. Sharp. I'm just like, this is weird. I never have a late period, but I didn't want to think anything of like out of it then. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Guys, shop ndiyoyithenga i-pregnancy test. Hey, bravery elapho. I get home and then I'm like, dude, I bought this thing, come, let's do it. And then he's like, ugh, whatever. Like, he was not even thinking anything. And then like, at that time I was really like starting to feel like, yo, what if. Fine, okay, guys, I go and I take the test. 2 minutes later, the test has 2 stripes. Yo, yayingathi ngaske ndisweleke pha, ngaske nditshone ethobhini, ke lithobi ndichama kulo for i-pregnancy test. Yayingaske ndibhubhe, guys. I was like, what the actual, no, this cannot be happening to me. Nuh-uh. I was like, kaloku babes, abantwana una ndizimisele banza nabo pha koma 28, 27, 28. Not now. Like, I was 23, guys. 23. Yo, guys, I was like shitting bricks. I was like, what the fuck, bazalwane? No, this cannot be happening to me. No. Okay, fine. Zola's like, lol. He's laughing. He's like, oh, this thing, they're not accurate. Come, let me pee on one, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fine. I wake up in the morning. I take the test again, guys. Hey! 82 stripes. This is me now, like, before I go to work. And I'm just like, yo, guys. Yo, I was honestly like, yo, like, it is flames, fire, fire, woo, woo, woo. Fine. Time goes, fine. Fast forward to me being 9 months pregnant. Like, throughout the process of my pregnancy, I was like, cool, I'm going to do the labor birth thing. Firstly, because it's cheaper. Secondly, because I've never done an op, and I can't imagine what it must be like to be cut and then recover after birth. Like, I was just like, no, I'm not going to do cesarean. I just want to go through the whole birth experience. Like, I want to have the labor pains, and then, you know, that whole thing they show you in the movies where you're like screaming and you are holding your person and, you know, like you are in labor pains and you're pushing and so I was like, yeah, I want to go through that. Fine. So the time comes, right? And then I am like 33 weeks pregnant. I go for my checkup. My doctor was like, all set. We booked in the labor, don't labor ward and all of that, like way before, I think a month before, like your due date and stuff. Fine. I'm all booked and everything. And then a week before I'm supposed to get into labor, my doctor's like, I think we should do a birth induction because we are nearing your 35-week mark and there are no signs of you like getting into labor and stuff like that. Like, I'm scared that we let the pregnancy go over time and then the baby is too big for your body, because like, guys, I'm so tiny, like I'm so short, my bones are like small. So she was like, I'm really nervous about letting you go into labor because you are small. Firstly, chances are of your baby being stuck are quite huge because you've got a big baby. Secondly, the genetic makeup of your child due to your partner, because Zola's like extremely tall, chances of your baby being stuck are quite high because so I really recommend, for peace sake, that we schedule a cesarean. That's what my doctor says. Or we induce you and we see how it goes. So I'm like, okay, cool, sharp. Let's do the induction. Schedule it and I'll come in and then you induce me and we see how it goes. Fine. We do the induction thing. Like, I come into hospital, like when you get induced, you have to come into hospital, you check in the night before. So you come and check in around 7 o'clock in the evening. The nurses check you in, they book you a room. And they show you, like, you take all your stuff of, you book your room, like your room where you will go to after you've given birth. And then they show you like a separate room, like it's completely different from the wards, like maternity ward, where you go into labor, right? So yeah, I put my stuff in the room that I was sleeping in, like after I had given birth, and then I had to go to the labor ward, not a maternity ward. So there's a maternity ward and there's a labor ward. So then once you check into the maternity ward and you decide which room you want to stay in and what bed and whatever not, you put your stuff in there, and then from that you go to the labor ward where you give birth. Go to the labor ward. And then my mom and my cousin, they leave, and then I stay behind with Zola. Zola said he's gonna stay and sleep over at the hospital because I'm getting induced. We're not really sure when the baby is gonna come. So he says it's safer if he stays there, and I'm like, also please stay with me, because I don't want to now lunywa in the middle of the night and I have to be calling you and you're not waking up and I just go into labor in your absence. So I was like, yeah, please stay. So fine, he decides to stay. Cool, sharp. So at midnight, you take the meds that are supposed to induce the pregnancy. So I take the medication, and before that you have to shower. Like before they give you the medication and stuff, you have to shower with the disinfectants that they give you at the hospital, like, and you shouldn't put on any lotion. So they tell you that you shower, don't put on any body lotion, and you don't use your own shower gel, you use the hospital disinfectant thing. Fine, so I shower and whatever, and then I get into bed, and then they put like this thing up your cookie so that the thingy can break, like your water can break and you can go into an induced labor. Fine, I take all the medication and stuff, whatever, like midnight, and we're ready, we're waiting for course. Like we are ready, waiting for the baby. Guys, 2 hours later, nothing happens. Like the nurse keeps on coming to check. Like, has anything happened? Has your water broken? Like, what's going on? Are you dilating? You know, all these things. Guys, she keeps on checking. So she checks the first time, I think around 2 a.m. Nothing is happening. Like, I start getting cramps and I'm just feeling so uncomfortable. I'm just like, I don't know what is going on. But anyway, fine. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's part of the process, blah, 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 blah. And as the nurse is checking, like, she like literally sticks her hand up your cookie to make sure like nothing is going on. And I'm just like, yo, I plungu, you know, like iplungu babes. And then she's like, girl, this is only the beginning. I don't know why you scared. And when she said that to me, I was like, what do you mean this is only the beginning? Yo, guys, I was so scared. And she's like, yo, girl, this is the beginning. You should not be scared of me sticking my hand up there, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is close to nothing of what you're gonna feel. So I'm like, yo, okay, fine. Ashali guys, 4 a.m. passes, 6 a.m. like, she comes and checks again. And then at 6 a.m. it's her last check. And like nurses, it's the morning shift, so they swap nurses. Fine, then when she comes and checks me for the last time, she's like, girl, I don't think anything's gonna happen. Like, I really don't think you're gonna go into labor because nothing has happened since midnight. And maybe your doctor's gonna come in the morning around 8 and say, maybe let's do the cesarean because nothing is happening. So my heart like jumps and I'm like, oh my god, no, I really do not want to do a cesarean. No. Then I start stressing. Fine, so the nurses change shifts and then another nurse comes. And then like this is now like around 8ish and I start like getting mild cramps, mild cramps, and then fine, whatever. The morning nurse comes and then she checks on me. She's like, nope, still no hope. Let's wait for your doctor and see what she says. Fine, my doctor comes and then she is like, I think we're gonna have to do a cesarean. Guys, I was honestly like never ready. I was like, what do you mean, babes? We have to do a cesarean. I was like, no. She's like, no, I think we really have to because you've been in labor now for 10 hours. Wait, 8 hours labor, like induced labor for like since 12 midnight. And nothing is happening. I'm just quite concerned that you may have a complicated delivery. And I don't want that to happen. So I would suggest that we do a cesarean. And then she's like, it's fine, I'll give you some time to speak to your husband, and then I'll come back and find out what your decision is. But fine, she leaves us, and then we talk with Zola. Zola's like, Baba, I really think that you should go and do the cesarean, but I don't want to force you. I really want to know what you want to do because it's your body. Like, what are you feeling? He says, I'm just concerned about the health of you and the baby right now, and I think we should just listen to the doctor. So then I was like, okay, cool, fine. I think we should listen to the doctor because I don't want to get to a place whereby like shit happens and then it's all on me that because I didn't listen to the doctor, you know. So I was like, okay, cool, fine, let's do the cesarean. Sharp. The doctor comes back and we tell her that we're gonna do the cesarean. Let me tell you of the things that they do not tell you when you are gonna go through this process, guys. It is so invasive. So fine, sharp, we decided we're gonna do the cesarean, and then the nurse, she comes and she like has to shave your particles because there shouldn't be any hair there, like completely no hair, as they cut they cut you, and if ever there is hair, like it can't go inside your fingers, your organs and stuff, because that will cause complications. So fine, she cuts me. She doesn't cut me, she shaves like everything off, and then going to theater. And then when you get to theater, an anesthetist comes, and then they have to inject you to numb your whole bottom down. Have to inject you to numb your whole bottom down, and then the procedure starts. So when the procedure starts, your partner like stands or sits on like in between the sheet they use to block you from seeing what's happening down there, like so that like you don't see when they're cutting you and stuff like that, because it's quite traumatic. So Zola says that he looked by mistake. Uti, I was so traumatized, like I was really never ready. Uti, what mistake was so laba ebe jonge. I was like, dude, that's so cool. I honestly would have loved to see like my insides. But anyway, so they cut you open, they do the procedure, the baby comes out. It's actually really quick. It's not long. It's super fast. Then once you're done with the theater and stuff, the recovery process is really what I was not ready for. I was really not ready, guys. Like, because I feel like a cesarean is a procedure that is downplayed by so many people. Like doctors, I feel downplayed. People that have been through it don't really tell you much info. But recovery is a lot. It's a lot because you are cut and sewn up, and then immediately after that you have to take care of a newborn. That alone is a whole process on its own that no one can prepare you enough for. It's like after theater you go into the maternity ward, and obviously because you are so drugged, the drugs wear out, like they wear off your body. And when those drugs wear off your body, akubuhlungu, guys. Yo, I was in so much pain. I remember the first time, because I was just like, oh my gosh, the drugs have all gone out of my body. Like you can't move your feet for like a lot, like so many hours. I think it's 4 hours after the procedure's been done. So the first day you're like drugged the whole day, literally. Like when people come see you and your baby, you're just like me, the first day I was like dandy, out. And then the first day, like you're also put on a catheter because you can't physically stand up and go to the bathroom. And then the second day after birth, then they mobilize you. So they mobilize you, like the nurse will come and say, okay, cool, like in the afternoon of the second day, are you ready for me to mobilize you? Then you learn how to walk with the scar again, obviously. So after Uko's birth, I got discharged, And then I went home. So fine, like day 3, I think you stay in hospital. You stay in hospital for 3 days after you give birth through a cesarean. And then you get discharged like the 4th day in the morning, like 4 days after you've given birth in the morning. Like I went home and it was all great. Like I got home and I thought I was a superwoman because I hadn't been home for like 4 days. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I was staying with my mom and I was like, oh, guys, this does not, like, I'm such an OCD kind of person. And the doctor said when I was leaving the hospital, please do me a favor, do not pick up heavy objects. If something is heavier than your baby, do not pick it up. That's what the doctor said. Oh, girl, did not listen. I got home and I thought I was superwoman. I thought I was a hero, guys. I literally was helping my mom, and I just felt bad that my mom also was like doing everything by herself. So I was like, cool, let me help her. And she was just like, girl, sit down. The doctor said you must sit down. And I thought that woman, guys, so I woke up fine, like in a lot of pain, and my mom like made papa and then she's like, I think you should eat because you need to take your medication. I forgot that you need to take your meds at a certain time. Yo, guys. So then I went to the bathroom to pee, sat down, and I could not stand up. Like, I literally couldn't stand up. So I called Uzola. I was like, Zola, oh my gosh, Baba. Then I started crying and crying and crying because I was in so much pain. Yo, let me take more dose than what I'm supposed to because I didn't take the morning dose and it's the afternoon now. Like, it wasn't really the afternoon, it was around 11 and I'm supposed to take another dose. I definitely overdosed myself on still pain and Tramadol. Hey guys, and then my body, like I think 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, my body started like shutting down. Like I literally was like, I couldn't stand, I couldn't do anything. So then Uzola had to pick me up because I literally couldn't stand. I was like falling, and put me in the car and take me to the hospital. Guys, yo, I was crying. My mom was like, I was like, I'm getting hot, I can't speak. Guys, I literally felt like my life was ending, my body is shutting down. So I like rushed to the hospital. We drove so fast. Hey, got to the hospital. They put me on a drip, guys. And then I got sedated, like I was getting back to normal, like the drugs were getting flushed out of my system. All I can say is take your time on the decision that you make with regards to the birth route that you choose to go for, because it really is a huge decision that you need to be mentally ready for. It can get a lot, like honestly speaking, it can get really hectic. Like going through a natural birth is difficult before you go into labor, but doing a cesarean is easy before you go into labor, but difficult after you've gone into labor because you have to recover. Like recovery of a cesarean is no child's play. So yeah, anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the story time of me sharing about my birth experience. Would I do it again? Hell yeah. Somehow really, guys, honestly I wish I could. I wish I had all the money in the world to have another child. I hope that you guys enjoyed my story time. Until next time.